There are clearly good movies and clearly bad movies, but sometimes we go to college and major in something that's completely useless, only to end up being a bouncer for a club in order to find out what is everything in the middle. This is Good, Bad, Bad, Good.
Morgan, you're out of here.
What the fuck you talking about?
You don't have the right temperament for the trade.
You asshole! What am I supposed to do?
There's always barber college.
How's it going, mijo?
Mind your own business, Dad. You want to fight, dickless?
I sure ain't gonna show you my dick.
Oh, sorry, philosophy majors. Travis just crapped all over your life.
Look, I was an acting major, so
you're crapping on my life now.
Did they say what he majored in? I just remember them saying he went to NYU.
Philosophy.
Philosophy.
Okay. Well, that's a really helpful degree.
I would say if you're gonna spend the tuition to go to NYU and then go for an only philosophy degree, I get it if philosophy is like your minor. Or if
a
you're
double
like,
major.
I am going
Or
to
a double
start
major.
a nonprofit. What Because what else do you do with a
Sure.
philosophy degree?
I don't know. If you're a philosophy major out there, let us know what you think
My-
or what you do.
You
Dear good
philosophize.
friend Alex Courier was a philosophy major, and he now is a woodworker.
Hey.
Okay. If you were a philosophy
that.
major in college, let us know if you are doing something that
Let us know
pertains
if
to
you
your
turned
degree.
out to be Patrick Swayze, a.k.a. Dalton in Roadhouse.
Let us know if you are the what's he called? He's not because he's not a
cooler.
bouncer. The cooler. Let us know if you are the cooler.
Cooler, more like fluffer.
If you didn't know, hello everyone. On this week's episode of Good, Bad, Bad, Good, we are doing the cult classic, I would say.
Yeah,
Roadhouse.
Yeah,
It is definitely a cult classic.
Don't
know why.
My name is Travis Orozco, and I am a director and producer. With me, as always, is...
Kylie Amai. I'm an actor and a writer.
And...
Brian Ossip. I am a video editor.
And today we are going to be looking at all the different ways that we could dissect Roadhouse. That's it. Yeah, let's just jump into it.
That's it.
Should we
Cool.
give
Good
verdicts?
episode. Talk to you guys next week.
Yeah, great. Good.
No, we do plot synopsis and verdict.
Pot
We
synopsis?
do plot synopsis and then verdict. Is this your first episode?
I think maybe it is. All right. No.
Also, this week, we are dealing with my puppy being in the room with us. That's what
Chewing
Kai
on
is
cords.
looking.
Not any longer. I got him away from them.
Is he though?
He was.
Batwing, come here. No, not this way. Come here. Good boy. Stay here. Okay. So before we jump into verdicts, we will do a plot synopsis for everyone out there. Hey, Google, what is the plot synopsis for the movie Roadhouse?
Here's the synopsis of Roadhouse. The Double Deuce is the meanest, loudest, and rowdiest bar south of the Mason-Dixon line, and Dalton, Patrick Swayze, has been hired to clean it up. He might not look like much, but the PhD-educated bouncer proves he's more than capable, busting the heads of troublemakers and turning the Roadhouse into a jumping hotspot. But Dalton's romance with the gorgeous Dr. Clay, Kelly Lynch, puts him on the bad side of cutthroat local big shot Brad Wesley, Ben Gazzara.
Wow.
Perfect.
I did not know that. I did not know. Batwing.
This dog is just chasing his own tail. And
I did
it's
not
the
know that he was a
cutest thing I've ever
PhD.
seen. Well, you do now.
Yeah. So he wasted, let's see, in the 1980s, tuition was what, maybe $25,000? Let's say it's half of what it is now. $25,000 a year?
No, when I was in school in 2006.
Yeah, but you didn't
it
go
was
to
half
private
of what it
school.
is now. You're correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
NYU is
private
not
school.
cheap.
So
Yeah.
NYU now starts at $50,000 a year.
Right.
What?
It's 89.
It came
just
out in
went right
89,
would have.
yeah.
Yeah. Right. But he's.
Anyway, okay, let's jump into verdicts. This is Brian's pick, so Brian shall go first. Brian,
Yeah.
what is your verdict on this
Should
movie?
I preface this by saying I texted both of you in the middle of the day today and said, I'm sorry for picking this movie? Because I am.
With a really adorable dog picture.
With a I forgot I sent a
the
GIF.
GIF that he
I sent a GIF.
Yeah.
It's not a picture, Travis. It's called a GIF.
It's a GIF.
I call it a GIF.
Speaking of
that.
PhD
It's not
students, I'm
popcorn.
going to use a big word, vacillate. I vacillated back and forth between good, bad, and bad, good. And I'll be honest, I'm not sure. There's a chance that this could be the first time I might be talked into a different answer by the end, because I think I'm going to say it's a good, bad movie, but there's not a lot of confidence in that answer.
I am going to say it's a good, bad movie with 100% confidence.
Got it.
Wow.
Kai, what's your verdict? I'm just kidding.
I
got
felt
jokes.
very much like this is a good, bad movie.
I think this is probably hands down the best example of a good, bad movie
Yeah.
that we have had on this.
That's exactly
Show.
how I feel.
It was tough for
Yeah.
me to say that because I didn't actually enjoy it. So
Oh.
Interesting.
You know,
no, I was going to say usually the good, like the first part of the good, bad or the bad, good is whether I enjoyed it or not. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, continue.
I was just gonna say I actually, when I knew that we had to watch Roadhouse this week, I was like, God damn it, Brian. I don't want to watch Roadhouse again. One, because like I've seen the full movie. I don't know how many times I've actually sat down and watched the full movie, but I have seen parts of this movie 1,000 bajillion times because it's one of my stepdad's favorite movies, and my mom loves to watch Sam Elliott in this movie. And so I just feel like it's always on at their house because it just plays on cable somewhere all the time.
I had never seen this before
but-
somehow.
What?
That was partly why I picked this, because I had never seen it before, because I thought I might actually enjoy it for a good, bad movie.
Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe that you've never seen this movie. Yeah, that's very interesting to me since I've seen this movie so many times. But so that's what I was going to say, though, is that I was like, damn it, Brian. But then I actually last night watched it and like really enjoyed it. I was like having fun because I think because I went into it without any expectation of
Right.
anything, of just being like, it's Roadhouse. And then I was like, this movie's great. Just like, and I love Patrick Swayze. I had a huge crush on him when I was 5 years old. I used to watch Dirty Dancing over and over and over
Now,
again.
that's a
on
good
repeat.
movie. That's a good
That is
movie.
a great movie.
I am somewhere in the middle. I remember watching it when I was younger, but it's not. I think I've seen Ghosts. I think my mom's
Ghosts.
Patrick Swayze movie is Ghosts.
Actually,
so like,
yes. Yeah.
Ghosts I've seen I don't know how many times.
Yeah,
or
I've
like
seen that movie
in
a
different
lot of
segments. I
times
don't know
as
how many
well.
times. Roadhouse, not so much.
I would actually say my mom's Patrick Swayze movie is Ghost as well. My stepdad's Patrick Swayze movie is Roadhouse.
Because all the
Yes. So when I was a kid,
all the Tai Chi.
yeah, all the smooth, sweet Tai Chi.
Yeah.
No, he's very much a good versus evil. He's got to watch the good guys.
There's like a
tape. That's like
clear good
any
person,
movie.
clear
That's like
bad
the
person.
only movies he watches are
Yeah.
like when the bad guy's getting beat up. You
Yeah.
know?
I was reading that after doing Roadhouse, he was offered, I think it was Predator 2 and like Tango and Cash or something like that, but he had to turn them both down because he was too injured from filming Roadhouse. So he ended up doing Ghost instead of those two, which ended up being like one of his biggest movies that he ever did.
That's a really, really interesting
Yeah.
fact.
I would also be remiss to say, if I don't say, I mean, when Google was reading her synopsis, Dav poked her head into the room that I'm in, and she whispered to me, "It looks like you're making a porno." To which I responded, "Well, that's because I am."
Oh, I saw you say I am, and I
Yeah.
assumed that she asked if you were recording the
Nope.
podcast. I love that you told her you were making a porno.
Why?
Yes.
Why would it look like you're?
I don't
making a
know. They
porno?
don't really have boom mics. Well, I mean, they have boom mics. Sorry, I mean, this type of mic
They
stand.
don't have a boom. They don't have a boom mic right into the action. You know.
Yeah,
Like,
it's you gotta
usually-
keep your distance. You can't be in the shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's because I have this janky stand over here with my iPad filming, and it doesn't look very legit. So maybe it looks like a B-rated porno or
Is
a
it a
D-rated.
porno or did you start at OnlyFans?
Yeah,
so
right. There you go.
Excuse
I was
me.
gonna
You a
say,
cam
unless
girl.
the
I-
boom mic is being used in another way.
Ooh, you got to pay the subscription to find out. I like
that
to
one's
call
definitely
mine.
called Dead Cat.
I like to call.
That one's called what?
Dead Cat. Like the name of that porno is called Dead Cat.
I don't get it.
Cat double.
Oh, I still kind of don't get it.
Okay. Go, Brian.
I think I was done. I was just gonna say I haven't. It's an only feet. Thank you.
See, this is why I have Brian on the podcast. I don't know if you're joking or not.
So I am joking. After I got laid off a couple months ago, I did consider starting one, just posting pictures of my feet, but I didn't do it.
Does not consider starting an only feet. Who doesn't consider that?
That's true.
Like everyone I know has considered that before because
easy money.
Only your feet. Yes.
And it's easy money.
Huh. You're
You know what?
making me debate right now, actually.
Maybe Dalton would have had a happier life if he'd started an only feet instead of getting into fights all the time. Thank you.
Look
Yep.
at you, solving
you.
problems left and right.
Yep.
I'm also the king of
And then
transitions.
he could have had, Sam Elliott join too. So it's like 4 feet, like on top of each other. and
That's
stuff.
it. That would be some sexy 4 feet. Let me tell you.
You know
I was
Sam
so
Elliott's feet are
sad
hairy.
when
Oh,
Wade
yeah.
died. So sad when Wade died. Wait, were you saying "oh yeah" to Sam Elliott's feet being hairy,
Yeah.
or to him
Yeah.
dying as Wade?
I'll be honest,
Oh,
when he
okay.
died,
Got
and
it.
we can get to this later, I guess, but it didn't really do a lot. I wasn't really that affected.
Yeah, should we talk about the plot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Story
I guess
maybe?
so.
So the first
not
section-
only fans and
Let me
feet?
host.
Let's
Kai.
talk about what this is about because, like, I know what it's about, but I'm still not entirely sure what the point of this movie was.
This movie is clearly a metaphor for small town America fighting back on overreaching federal government, and that Americana needs to take.
Yeah, I don't think they were thinking
Screw the
that
big man
Damn
and
deeply.
they're
the
overreaching.
man, down with taxes.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is made during the Reagan era too. Like this is 100%.
Oh yeah,
like,
actually, yeah.
this is all a metaphor.
Yeah.
The first category we're going to be talking about for Roadhouse is plot, script, and synopsis.
I was saying yes,
Oh.
bazinga.
I
Apologies.
was like, do you want me to turn the? Do I need to turn the camera back around?
No, I'm just doing weird pointing things with my
Got
fingers.
it. Who would like to go first? Well, Brian, you go first. You said you didn't know what was going on because you don't really understand movies. So you go first.
No, look, like I understand what the plot was. I was just not really sure what the point was. Like I kind of finished watching and I was like, I just didn't, I don't really care. I thought the plot was kind of dumb, honestly. Like some dude, first of all, I will say, I love the idea that like the cooler or whatever they call him, basically security or a bouncer at a club or a bar. I love the idea that there's like these guys who are just so much better than everybody else that he goes to hire someone who's like the best in the business. I don't know. I think that is almost like a Saturday Night Live skit if done a different way.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that I think is kind of funny separately. But yeah, I don't know. Like this guy goes to this small town, I think he said outside of Kansas City or something like that. And of course, there's one guy that basically owns the entire town and they got to fight back. And you got all these hooligans and you got a dude who's literally driving the Bigfoot monster truck. Of course, when the first time we saw that, I was like, oh, cool. So now we know how small that guy's penis is.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought the story was pretty
I felt
dumb.
like all of them must have micro penises. Like
Yeah.
just
Oh, 100%.
that, and they're all gay lovers, right? Like we all got that, like kind of. It felt very, especially his right hand man, the guy with the cross earrings and the jean
you're
outfit.
confused because that was
I'm
just
not
back
confused.
to
They were
George Michael
confused.
1980s little Coke, little feminine vibes.
So that
I
guy-
don't know about that.
Saucy. It's saucy.
And he was so upset about
And
him
we
dying.
women like it. So I don't want to think of them as gay lovers. I want to think of them as saucy, minxy, slightly effeminate punching men, karate men that could paint my fingernails and tackle me, you know? No, that's too much. Okay.
Brian, what were you saying?
Oh,
Before
that guy's
Kai
that,
went on this.
that's
Kai went off
okay.
the
We can
deep
talk
end.
about doing nails and stuff. That guy, his name was Jimmy. The actor was actually retired Navy and a former deputy sheriff in Memphis, Tennessee, which I thought was pretty interesting. But the dude's done like over 100. He's got over 100 credits on IMDb.
Interesting that he was in the Navy.
Yeah. Well, just the fact that he's retired Navy and law enforcement and then became an actor with like over 100 credits is just not something you would expect to see, I feel like.
I actually have a friend, Ricky Reba. Shout out to Ricky Reba.
Shout
What
out
up, Ricky?
Who I can't remember what line of the military forces that he was in. I want to say he was in Navy, but he did, I think, his 4 years and then went into the reserves and then started his acting career. But the first several things that he booked on movies and all sorts of things were, roles where they needed somebody that knew how to fly a jet plane or how to, not that he would actually be doing those things, but like just to even have that knowledge so that you don't look like an asshole when you're in there as to like what switches you'd be pushing, etc.
Or you become Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Who just
That.
Where you
does
just have enough
everything.
money to learn yourself.
Anyway, what did you guys think of the plot?
The plot for me, I feel like the script embraces the cheese. Because like you said, if you're going to take a movie and make it about a bouncer as your main character, but like not just a bouncer, the sought after dude in this industry that like people from bar to bar to bar know about him, which cracks me up because I've worked in a lot of bars and nobody could give a fuck about any other bar. They're all trying
That's
to
why it's a
do
Saturday Night
something
Live
else
skit.
with their lives. Yeah, right. It's so good. But I'm like, they take it and they embrace that and then they go full on into it where he's a martial artist. He doesn't use guns. And when guns come into his face, that's the only time he killed a man. Like even that plot point and the him ripping the dude's neck out.
I mean, that was cool.
And
I
with
did
his
like that.
cloth, and he's gonna do it at the end, but he's changed because Doc has made him think otherwise. Like it was
He
so
went soft.
cheesy, but it embraces it at every turn and corner, and I appreciate that because then at least it knows exactly what it is.
That's fair. I'll allow
So
that.
I have no problem with it.
I will say I did.
I think it's.
Oh, sorry, go.
I was gonna say it's stupid, but it also is very entertaining, and I love that it embraces it. It knows what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to move off of the fact that they were all gay lovers. I'm going to go back to because I was looking at the plot and script section of my notes, and I happened to write down like all the times that I'm like, oh, this is like they're clearly lovers. So, no,
clearly
sorry,
lovers?
not lovers, but that this, it's a very, I don't know what they're trying to say.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. It's very homoerotic, and I'm just
I
like,
think maybe you're just insecure with your own masculinity,
I am
and
not.
so you read a lot into this movie.
I am not.
Travis.
Wesley's gay
fired.
lover. Wesley's gay lover. He said, "Your ass is mine, boy."
Wait,
Oh,
which
yeah.
one is Wesley?
Then
He
when
talks about mounting his ass on the wall at the end.
well, no, and then Wesley says, "This is my trophy room. The only thing missing on these walls is your ass."
Yeah, but that's like
Wait, what?
I loved that line, but also I watched this
There's
with
so many guys in this movie talking about the other guy's ass.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
See,
is this supposed to be
I
intimidating?
missed some of that because I
that's
watched
not
it on AMC.
intimidating.
what?
I watched the first one because
It
I
was on
just have Apple
Netflix.
TV. It was?
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck? I did it because I have Apple TV. I did a search for Roadhouse, and the only thing like I could buy it or rent it or AMC for free. I didn't know it was on Netflix, so I watched the,
Yeah, dude,
the
it's on
censored,
Netflix.
edited version of it.
Holy
Oh,
crap!
well, that's why it wasn't entertaining.
Apple TV is so
because
stupid.
It's
I had
so
no idea.
uncensored. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know. Well, fuck, that sucks. And there was a shitload of commercials. It probably added like 25 minutes to the movie too with all the commercials.
Oh yeah, no.
Well, there was so many boobs. I was just very much like, yeah, this is a
And-
very Brian movie.
There were,
And
I didn't
Brian
even,
totally
I saw
picked-
nothing.
At the end, what you didn't
saw
see
nothing.
So
all
many-
the boobs?
It was
There's so many
AMC. It was
boobs
edited. I had
and-
no idea.
So many boobs and Patrick Swayze's butt a
Yeah,
bunch,
and pubic
and
hair and-
possibly his penis. Although you can tell that
It's not
he's
him.
wearing the.
I missed.
No, he's wearing like it because it's when
Modesty
he dives
pouch.
in at
Yeah.
the end naked.
I just figured that
I
wasn't
didn't even see him
See
dive in
that?
anywhere.
What?
All I saw was them swimming in the lake or whatever at one point. I know he dove
He
in. I missed a
dives
butt.
in
Wait.
buck naked, and you
I
see
missed
her
Patrick
boobs
Swayze's
flopping
butt.
around. Yep.
You missed his penis too.
I'm going to have to rewatch it tomorrow.
His
Just
penis
kidding.
in his modesty pouch, though.
Especially since you're a porn star.
Yeah,
You're trying to be.
You gotta
You gotta know
be
what's
aware
up.
of your film history,
my competitors.
Right.
your genre history.
My competitor from 30 years ago.
Oh,
He definitely does not want to be in that room right now.
No, he's like, you guys are just talking about dumb stuff, and I want to play with toys and.
Okay,
run around."
I'm gonna open the door and let him out, and as soon as I do, he's gonna start crying.
You think? Well, do you have to have if Amanda and Nay are not
Leave the door
here,
open?
then can't you just leave the door open?
Or is he going to destroy the rest of the house now?
Possibly.
I guess it's kind of quiet enough, but it breaks the.
Well, you can.
We're just breaking all the rules on this podcast.
There are
Today
no
we're
rules.
breaking all the rules. We have live animals. We have no more soundproofing in this room. We're just breaking all the rules. Oh my gosh, I'm breaking my pop filter again.
All sorts of things are happening.
This is a
today with
disaster.
Travis. Disaster. I was like, we are good today.
We
We're on
started
track.
so
I was
close
on
to on time.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, I was.
Tune in
like,
for season
very
3
cool.
when we finally get recording down.
I did notice in the Google Calendar you said Kai 5:45 a.m.
Oh
I
shit!
did?
Then I
Yeah.
was really, really late.
You were really late.
Or
12
Or
hours.
I just wanted to make sure if I say 5:45 a.m., she'll show up only 5 minutes late.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
correct.
that's fair.
Yeah.
How do we feel about how this ends? Is there anything we want to
Listen,
say about this?
Listen, I feel like this part of the film is so smooth cake butter baby that we don't have to really talk that much
What?
about it. Do you know what I mean?
I don't
What part of the
know.
film is smooth cake butter baby?
Sorry.
What is smooth cake butter? baby?
You guys are like, what is the sentence that just came out of your mouth in its entirety?
Did you hit the bong before you walked
What
over?
I meant was, no, maybe. No, I didn't. I just meant this part of the podcast, like talking about the plot and the script. I feel like it's such cake. It's so easy. It's such a like, they knew what they were doing. They crafted it well from beginning to end. I had no problems with the plot because they just knew what they were doing. There's a bajillion deaths at the end. And the way that the bad guy dies in the end with all of the owners coming out of absolutely nowhere from all of the businesses in town and all shooting him with buckshot. So he's probably got like 100 bajillion bullet pellet things in him. It was like great. It's great. The bear falls on Tinker. Like it's all great. I feel like what I meant by smooth cake butter baby is that we just move on to acting because like what else is there to talk about this wonderful script that knew exactly what it was.
So I think I agree with you that like it knew exactly what it was. But if we're looking at it just from the standpoint of like reviewing a movie, none of it makes sense.
That is my review of the movie. Smooth cake butter baby.
Smooth cake butter
I
baby.
actually
Smooth
think
cake
that
butter
I
baby.
should start a online
OnlyFans called Smooth Cake Butter Baby.
yeah, that actually, where I am just
You
making
could interpret
buttery
that
cake
so many
and
different
feeding
ways.
it to
Smooth
children.
cake
Just
butter baby.
smoothing out the icing on cake.
Yep, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
No, I was gonna
You're
say
gonna
I
get
should
banned
start
from
a
YouTube.
movie review podcast online just called Smooth Cake Butter Baby
Oh, like a blog.
movie review.
Got it. Okay. Well, then moving on to acting.
Hold on, let me just
No,
say.
no. If you had some stuff to talk
Well, the
about,
only thing I
plot,
was to say is why doesn't Wesley just kill him?
why would he kill him?
Kill him.
I mean,
when?
he does. At any point, he
He's-
like. So.
Oh,
You
yeah.
mean why is he killing
'cause then the
everyone
movie
around
would've
why
him?
is he
10
killing
minutes
everyone?
long.
Yeah, I'm like, just kill
'Cause he
him. You
can't
clearly
kill
don't have a problem
Dalton.
killing.
Okay,
You blew
Dalton's
up. You
too
blew up his
hard
landlord's
to
house.
kill.
why?
He tried to kill Dalton. He sends what's his name after him.
He literally set up. He blew up the owner's house.
You're correct.
Why couldn't they just blow up the barn?
Because he wants to threaten him. He wants to show him that his cock is bigger. You know, it's that kind of a thing.
Why not take one of your hunting rifles and just shoot both of them while they're having sex on the roof?
That's a good point.
Because
like,
again,
it's just
it's more fun for his badass ego if he
Cool.
watches Dalton squirm. You
Yeah.
know?
and I agree with you on that. But watching this for the first time since I was like probably like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
At some point, I kept having that thought of like, well, they keep dragging this out, and it's like like, oh my gosh, just have sex already. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, my question was, why wouldn't the owners of the town have just tried to kill Wesley or whatever, Brad or whatever his name was? Like, why? Like, I guess Dalton empowered them or whatever. But like, somebody should have killed that motherfucker years ago because he had it coming.
But he had all his henchmen, all his goons, the people
So
were
what?
like
You
terrified
kill the head
of.
and the rest of the fucking
But they didn't
pieces
have the
die.
person, the strong man that believed.
Yeah, they're
that it
all a
was
bunch
his
of fucking
job.
sissies.
They didn't have the muscular, cooler savior to
So
come
you
in.
brought up his henchmen, and I also like, how many times are you gonna go and get your ass kicked? I'm just
Yeah,
like,
that's
how many
true.
times are they gonna go, hey, Dalton, I hate you. I'm gonna do it right now. And then like, and then like 10 minutes later, hey, Dalton, I hate you.
Because they're
I'm
like-
gonna kill you right now.
Because they're like,
And then like 15 minutes later, hey, Dalton, I hate you.
because there are moments they kept getting the edge of like, look, the only reason Dalton won that time was because his friend Wade came out of nowhere. So they go back again. Oh, see, the only time that Dalton won that time was because he had his 4 bouncers with him. So they come back again. Okay, the only time that Dalton won that time, you know?
I'm just saying, if I was one of his henchmen, I'd be like, look, Wesley, I'm tired of looking like a little bitch here. You need to go down there yourself because I'm getting my ass kicked and I can't do this anymore. You don't even have, you have me on an HMO. I'm not even on a PPO.
HMO.
I can't
Shit,
get
you
my
think they're
nose
you think they're
fixed
getting
anymore.
insurance? They're not getting insurance.
Yeah. I did love the
You're
amount.
only giving us a HSA and I'm only contributing 5% right now. Like,
The amount of money that Dalton gets paid in 1989, $500 a night with a $5,000
Upfront fee.
upfront fee.
for only $100
And all
$100 a month
medical-
rent.
Yeah.
Right, and all medical expenses.
That's why he
paid.
can
I was
keep
like,
buying new sick cars.
That's why you're the cooler. Yeah, and new sick shirts for
Yeah.
every time he gets knifed and
Yeah.
gets bloody.
So
Yeah.
here's an actual plot question that I had. So in the beginning, the guy who owns the Double Deuce, I forget what the character's name is, he comes to him and says, I just came into a bunch of money and I'm trying to clean the place up. First of all, that's never even discussed again. How did he come into money? Why did he come into money? Is it even relevant that he came into money? And then my other thought that I had was, this guy Wesley clearly runs the entire town. I don't think he's even letting that dude buy the bar or spruce up the bar or do anything because he clearly thinks he owns everything. But he just seems to let the Double Deuce go. He like is taking money from literally every other business in town.
No. He is the liquor.
He's the liquor supplier,
He's
but like
supplying the liquor.
Oh.
So he wants it to be spruced up so that it'll make more money and they'll need more liquor and he can take a bigger percentage of the top.
maybe, but they never talk about him taking a
And
percentage
Wesley
of
wants
that.
it spruced up?
Yeah.
No. I'm saying he's cool with it being spruced up. Not that like he was like, let's spruce this place up. But also his
That's a lot of inferring going on there.
nephew needs a job.
Well,
So he
yeah,
lets it slide as
that
long
guy
as
was-
Dum Dum can steal money from the till.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of inferring going on there. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of plot holes. And I'm here to pick every single one apart. Just kidding, I'm done.
I didn't feel like those were
I mean,
plot holes.
this is kind of a nitpick. I'll say this, but I think that one of the biggest plot holes is the character Carrie and how she just like randomly knows where he.
Doc?
No,
Carrie's the waitress.
Doc?
Lives? Oh, of course she knows where he lives. Everybody in town does. She's gonna figure it out. There's only one room that's being
and
rented.
then, like
Dalton comes into town. Everybody in that town is talking about Dalton.
That I do
Where's
agree
he live?
with,
What's he
actually.
da 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 da. So of course, small town. She's
Okay,
gonna figure it
sure.
out. Of
Yeah, I
course,
don't think
she's
that'd be
bringing
that
him
hard.
breakfast right
Sure.
away because she
But
wants to
from-
see him naked in bed. You
Okay.
missed the first butt shot.
I did. There was a. Oh, man. Who
Okay.
knew?
And the whole sex scene where all you see is like butt. God.
And it was the
Brian.
first Hollywood movie to show like front genitals in like a
Oh,
sex
was
scene.
it? Wait, is that actually true?
Yeah, going in and out. Like you've never, we haven't. I'm kidding.
I was like, I didn't see
Guys,
that
like, did I
version
fall asleep?
actually. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so if I'm actually going to dissect this academically and like look at the plot and not just be like, it is what it is. I know you don't sound like that guy.
Shots fired.
My point being with Denise is that they have this semi-intimate scene where you think this character is going to be actually more than what she is, and then we like kind of never see her
Yeah,
again.
actually, I do feel like that too.
Like, why even have that scene?
And then she has the like, well, they needed somebody to tell Dalton that he fucked up because by firing the nephew's kid. Still don't actually
You don't need that because
scene.
he could just go into work and then
Which is what
the
happens.
nephew's there with.
Right,
Yeah.
right, which is what happens. Yeah, you're totally right. But they thought Patrick
But
Swayze's
sure, also,
butt
yeah, his butt.
Yeah.
is gonna make
But you
this
could also
movie
just
better.
put his butt in the sex scene.
But this is 2 times as
Yeah.
much butt.
Let's double the butt.
Double the
Two is
butt.
better
see
than
his
one.
butt in the sex scene.
I didn't see anything at all.
You don't see his butt in the sex scene. I know, Brian. You watched the PG version.
I
You probably
maybe-
watched like Road to Witch Mountain or something, the Disney Channel movie.
I probably would have liked that better. So I will say about that
He's
character.
like, wait, was Patrick Swayze in this movie?
Yeah, I didn't know he was in this. I thought it was Patrick
But cool,
Dempsey.
The Rock's in it.
Whatever the waitress's name is. What is her name? Celine? Is that what you
Denise.
said? Denise.
I thought you just said Carrie a second ago.
Carrie.
Carrie. Who's Denise?
I don't know.
there
Where'd
is a
that come from?
There is a Denise though. I
Oh,
think.
Denise is Wesley's beard, the one blonde girl that he beats up
Oh,
and like
yeah.
has danced
Yeah,
around.
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also,
It-
okay. Let me quick point about.
How they
Sorry,
treat
what
women
was-
in
sorry.
this movie?
Sorry. What was the
Just
waitress's
smack
name
her
again?
around.
What did you say?
Carrie,
Carrie. Okay. All of a sudden she could sing.
played
She's
by
on stage.
Kathleen Wilhoit.
She's
Yeah,
on stage
That's
singing.
great. Yes.
But she was a terrible front person. She looked so spastic. She looked like she was like having a seizure or something. The way she was dancing.
A,
She was
a terrible
cute.
fun person.
Front
Front person.
Front man.
Yeah.
Got it.
I thought she was really cute, and I also loved her wardrobe in that scene.
I loved
was
how
like,
bad the lip singing was.
Yeah,
like for
well, yeah.
everyone.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, I thought it was fun that she was. I thought that was like a fun little moment, but I just thought she looked real spastic. But then going back to Denise,
But
the
also
beard,
another unnecessary moment, too,
100%.
of like, because then the other bouncer comes down. He's like, I had no idea she could sing.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be like, oh, this is a charming. There are good people in this
I
town.
guess.
I think it's just like building the world.
I guess, but
we
like,
but we get that from Red. Like Red, I loved from the beginning. I'm like, oh, Nick Offerman's dad is in this. Oh, cool.
yeah, I never got the sense that it was just one bad guy in a town full of mostly decent people. Was the sense that I got. But anyway, back to Denise. You have the one scene where she's like jazzercising when Dalton walks in, and she's got like the totally fucked up face, and they just totally gloss over the fact that Wesley is apparently beating the shit out of her, probably pretty
Wait,
consistently.
It's
Yeah,
also-
so you
it's
missed
also-
the whole strip scene on the stage?
No, I
Is
saw
that
that.
can't?
I saw
Oh,
that,
okay.
but like, but she
It's just
she
blurred or
basically
what?
she was like covering with the dress and then covered with a hat, and then he pulled her off stage, and she was walking like this.
Oh, you see,
no.
you do see it. You do see
All
her
of it.
her boobs.
No wonder I hated this movie.
Can I just say the jazzercise the jazzercise moment when the camera's on her and she like goes like this and then like goes like that again, and I'm like,
I don't even know the moment you're talking about.
because it like the camera's on her. We could actually, it's not that important. She gets hit. I mean, it's important that she gets hit. I'm saying the point. No, sorry. I'm not saying.
Man, today on today's episode of the podcast, women are nothing but boobs, and you can hit them if you'd like to.
Yeah, that's why
Amen,
this movie's
sister.
so terrible.
I know.
Yeah, they completely gloss over
Except
that.
for I do, but at least the main
I'm
female
gonna post
character
just that
in
clip
it,
and be like, Kai's not a feminist
oh
anymore.
yeah, God, I know. Somebody just takes it out of and reverbs it into.
You didn't need to reverb it. You said exactly what needed to be said
yeah.
there.
What needed to be said
For the clip to go viral, yes.
right, yeah, okay. But I did appreciate that the lead female character is a doctor, at least. She's a smart, gorgeous doctor that came back to this town because her uncle, Red, ends up raising her after her parents died. And like, I like
And then she gets
that.
with Wesley, no? Like they used to be together, right?
Yeah.
He wanted her. It's
Oh.
never told to us that they
Oh,
were
I took it
together.
as they were
He
together.
was chasing
thought they were,
after
too.
her, is what I
I thought they were together. Because someone gave Dalton the warning of like, watch out for her.
Yeah, but no, right. But I thought it was like because Wesley was always trying to get with her and he couldn't. That was my understanding.
Yeah, I thought they were together,
And
but
now
I'm not
you've
sure that it
stepped
matters.
into town
Thanks,
and
Brian.
you
Same
can.
kind
yeah.
of point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up before we probably got sidetracked by I don't know how many things. I was going to point out the fact that she's a doctor and then she goes back to Dalton's place and she's just like cool with it. I
Cool
would be
with
like,
what?
I'm a doctor. You live in a barn? And
That
like,
is
It
the
was
sexiest barn
cozy
in the world.
and-
Please believe if a guy took me out there and was like, I like that the horses wake me up and tell me if there's trouble. And I like that it's just outside and I live
so
by this
lame
river. I
sounding.
would die. Just, yes.
And then Kai
Okay.
wakes up the next morning and is like, Dalton, is that the bucket that I pooped in? Or is that the bucket like,
Is that a spider crawling up my asshole, or what's going on here?
No,
Should I poop
baby,
next to your
it's
poop?
fine. It's fine.
It
Just
wasn't
yeah.
cool.
We don't got buckets here. There's a hole out back.
Look,
Poop on top of
man,
my poop.
I live in a studio apartment in Hollywood. That loft of a barn looked kosher. Okay?
Okay, shall we move on to acting? I feel like we already tackled this, but let's move
Yeah.
on to acting.
Yeah.
I thought Red was absolutely amazing. He was
great.
He was my favorite character in the entire film. Also, Sam Elliott. I just forgot how
I love
he's
Sam
so good.
Elliott.
Yeah, he's just-
always.
he's
He's
so
the best,
good.
always.
yeah.
I'm not sure that I'd ever
He's-
seen him young before. I feel like he's always looked old, and
I
he
was-
wasn't
I
even
was
young.
just about
Even
to
kind of
say-
looks old in
I
I
this
was just
film.
about to
Yeah.
say he was playing the old man at like what 25. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
been the old man.
Forever.
I legit almost didn't recognize him at first. Like I did a double take. I was like, oh shit, that's Sam Elliott. I was like, he was
Yeah.
like tall. He was kind of like a good looking man with long hair. Looked like he was in good
Oh,
shape, and I
yeah.
was like, oh, I didn't know that was Sam Elliott.
I want to know how old Sam Elliott is because
I would say he's in his 60s now.
I would think he's in his late.
He was
70s
born in
now.
1944.
Oh, 70s.
Hey Google, how old is Sam Elliott?
79.
Sam Elliott is 78 years old.
78. Brian.
Oh yeah, because
Not
he'll
79.
turn 79 in
Damn.
August.
He looked really good for A Star Is Born then, too, because he must have been, what, 72 in that movie? 74? Yeah, I love Sam Elliott. The acting in this I thought was really fun. There's so many, like, character actors.
Hold on,
Everybody
he
kinda
was
knows what-
34 in that movie.
I was just about to say he wasn't that old.
He
was
looked
doing
like
the
he was in
math.
his 50s. Like I thought he looked way older than 34.
No, he was 40. He was born in 44.
Yeah, this movie was
44.
89.
Oh wait, so he would have been 45.
So he was 45.
How did I?
Yeah. When
I
they
could
shot
s-
it, probably like 42.
Yeah, I
I
don't know
fucked-
how.
Probably
I
because
fucked
you
that.
didn't go. Probably because you didn't get your PhD like Dalton.
I did not. I can confirm. I
Yeah.
did not.
And philosophy majors, as we all know, are very good at math.
They are.
I got a Bachelor of Arts, so I can't do math for shit. Even with my calculator, which I was just using. So yeah, there you
That's
go.
awesome.
But I thought he still looked older than 45. Maybe because he was like pretty gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was really great.
He's
Yeah.
a saucy gray.
Yeah.
You know what's funny to me is the guy, the blonde guy that owns the bar that first hires Dalton, who is supposed to be a good guy. He looks like a bad guy to me. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
I
looks
kept waiting
like,
for him to
and I
to
feel
flip.
like he has been the bad
A
guy
lot.
in other movies.
Yes.
So I kept waiting for him to flip too, even though I knew, like I remembered that he didn't. I still was like, but you should, cause look at you. You look grimy. And then that's terrible that this dude just looks like the villain. But he does look like a 1980s villain. It's kind of he almost had like a Trump style haircut, but not as blown out.
Mm-hmm. Like it looked like it was his real hair and not like a toupee.
Yeah, like it was just a bad comb over.
Sam Elliott and that guy are literally 4 days apart in age. August 9th versus August 13th, 1944. And I thought the other guy, his name is Kevin, I have no idea how to pronounce his last name, Tighe. Tig?
Oh.
Tig? I don't know how you...
Kevin Tige.
Are
Kevin
you sure?
Teague.
Oh, I'm looking at... Oh, I was looking at Marshall R. Teague,
Wait, let me...
who plays Jimmy in the movie.
No, that's what I said.
But I don't
Jimmy's
know who
the
Jim is.
retired Navy guy. So yeah, Kevin Teague seems like he always plays. Like he was a bad guy in Lost. He played Locke's father in Lost. Like he was a bad
Jimmy's
guy in
what
that.
retired? Jimmy's what retired? What?
Jimmy.
Who's Jimmy in the movie?
Marshall R. Teague plays Jimmy.
Who's Jimmy in the movie though? Is what
Jimmy's
I'm
the guy
No.
Jimmy is the guy who Dalton rips his throat out at the end. The guy with the cross earring.
But I was
What?
originally
Yeah.
talking about Tillman, who is Kevin Teague.
Right. Yeah, the guy who owns Double Deuce.
Yes, and then you moved on to talk about who?
Well, because I thought because Travis mentioned Marshall Teague.
So Marshall Teague, I got confused. So like, Brian had brought up Kevin Teague, Kylie Teague.
Kevin.
What's his name? Kevin Teague.
Yes. Kevin
While
Teague.
I was literally looking at Marshall Teague, and I'm like, Brian, what are you talking about? His name's
gotcha.
Marshall, not Kevin.
And the
Oh, yeah.
Teagues are spelt differently, but I think
Yeah.
maybe both still Teague.
Sure. I
Welcome
don't
to
know.
Good, Bad, Bad, Good, where we try to figure out IMDb. Come along on this suspenseful ride as we
know
try to
what we
navigate the
have
modern internet.
Yeah, I don't know what we've been talking about this episode. I feel like it's been a very loopy sort of
It's a little
Okay,
all over
roller
the
so
place.
that
coaster
pretty
here.
much wraps it up about acting.
Well-
I will say my last thing on acting, sorry, Brian, and then I'll yield my time to you. All of the extras were really bad. That's it.
I thought they were.
I know, Kai, you thought everything was amazing. I don't know. I'm kind of feisty today. I'm sorry. I don't know why.
I hear it. No, I was gonna say I thought all of the martial arts moves and all the stuntmen. Great job, everyone.
We're not on technical yet.
Well, but those
That's
are
still
their
sort of
actors as
acting.
well. That's their actors.
Sure. I was going to just give them their flowers in technical.
Well, I can give them their flowers and acting.
I was
if
actually
want
reading
to,
that
you spicy
that they
motherfucker.
did most of their own stunts. I don't think there were a lot of stuntmen involved.
Even better.
But
so
the second
then, shouldn't we give them props in the acting category? Great.
yes.
Well, then you just gave props to no one.
What?
Because you originally said to all the stuntmen, but if there are no stuntmen, you just gave props to no one.
Listen here,
Just
fella.
putting props in the
I'm
ether.
giving props to Ether
Yeah.
of whoever did
Okay,
the martial arts in this movie.
My second note that I wrote was the acting is already horrible. I thought the acting was so bad pretty much across the
Yeah,
All
board.
the way through. Oh, I like.
Yeah. Like there
Kai.
were moments that were okay, but I thought the acting was pretty bad for the most part.
Well, but it is. You're right, but it is also. They're all in the same movie,
I mean, sure, that doesn't
and the
mean they
movie
were
is
good
just
in it.
cheesy.
I will say the casting director, who is Jackie Birch, shout out Jackie Birch. I will say the cast that she assembled was like really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patrick Swayze, Keith David is in it, and I forgot that he was in it. Like that's pretty awesome.
You know what must have been a real stretch? The guy who played Red, his real name is Red.
Oh, perfect.
That was a
Perfect.
hell of a stretch.
I also loved Sunshine Parker, who played Emmett, the guy who he's renting the loft from.
Okay, so that's just about sums it up for acting. Brian thought it were terrible. Kai was wrong.
So we should also learn on this podcast that women have no brains. Again,
I mean,
Just
like we didn't
boobs.
already know that.
The trailer for season 2 is going to be Kai.
I can't. It's just going to be a mashup of all the anti-feminist things that I say on the podcast. That's what it's going to be.
I'm gonna put a post on April Fool's and be like, Kai had to be let go from the podcast because of her anti-feminist views
And I'll repost it on my
that
stories.
Brian and I do not agree with.
Nope.
As feminists ourselves. Okay, moving on to technical. I'm gonna start by saying
That the martial arts were great.
Yeah, the fight scenes were entertaining. I do think, and this is kind of a thing I think is in the era where they did this more, but the sound effects that went along with them, like the punching, like it's like a thwack, thump, whack. Those are.
Yeah, they're like
but,
Batman sort of.
Yeah, but like that was,
The
I think that
1950s.
was a thing really up until, honestly, like we rewatched the Bourne movies recently, and those came out in like the 2000s, maybe late 90s was the first one, and like they were still doing it in the 90s and 2000s. So that was just like a thing that they did, but man, it sounds so stupid.
The same sound designer with 2 boxing gloves.
Yeah.
Going.
You should have done the old school Batman thing where you actually put the whack, wham,
Whack,
flying on
wham.
screen.
Yeah.
That actually would have made it a little better for me. Roadhouse.
Me too.
there was one moment where Patrick Swayze like goes in. It's like one of the first fight scenes you see, but he like goes in for a punch, but he just clocks him, like his elbow turns and he clocks him in the face with his elbow. And I was like, oh shit. And after that, I was like, you got me. I'm gonna watch every fight scene. Let's go. Let's do this. Like he's like, but he like, this
He, like,
is what goes straight into the guy's
Dislocated
nose.
his shoulder at the same
I
time.
will
Pretty
say there was
much, yeah.
too much of people being kicked in the nuts. I'm not comfortable with that.
I'm
It's
just
the knee,
saying.
Brian, not
No,
the
no,
nuts.
no.
There were
there's
like
a lot
at least
of-
3 or 4 times.
There's a
people
lot
got
of
kicked
guys
in the
that get
nuts.
hit in the
Oh,
nuts.
okay. See, I was
Wesley-
not as zoned in on that because I don't know what that feels like.
Oh, it's not good.
Wesley hits like 4 guys in the nuts himself. Like,
Yeah.
He hits his henchman in the nuts.
Yeah, he
I'm
does.
telling you, Wesley
He
wants
kicks
that
him.
ass
Right.
on the
Oh, yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
He wants
He
that
was trying to
ass
cut
and
those
nuts on
cheeks
the
off.
wall.
I do I do have a question that I don't know that I want to like really know the answer to, but I'm curious. Did I just kill you guys?
Travis is lost it. He's on one tonight.
He's just picturing like a machete slicing somebody's butt cheeks off.
No, yeah, or he just realized just now that this quality content movie review podcast he wanted to make and thought he was making will never be what he thought he was making because he hired you and I as the 2 other people on this podcast.
Title of the episode. He tried to cut this cheek.
You lost her. I don't think I've
Was
ever
this better
heard
than my
Travis
Taylor
laugh
Swift
this
joke?
hard. I did not realize you had such a giggle. I don't think I've ever heard you laugh that hard.
Oh man.
Oh, my stomach hurts.
I didn't even think it was that funny. I'll take it though.
He was drunk last episode and he wasn't even laughing this much.
No, I didn't tell any good jokes last time because I hated that movie even more than this. Okay, which joke was
You
better,
were
this one or
crying.
the one of the Taylor Swift one from Amsterdam?
I don't remember the two.
Remember, you were like you
So
asked
Brian's
Kai.
like, I
if-
remember really well because
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I held on to it as
So
my
at
gold
minute
moment for the
32,
week.
I said,
You asked Kai if Taylor's like as an actor, if Taylor Swift acting with Christian Bale, who's an incredible actor, should have improved her acting game, and I said maybe it did.
I do remember that. No, the cheeks more. Yeah,
cheeks more.
Uh,
cheeks definitely more. Oh man. Okay.
So here's my next question related to violence. It doesn't seem.
Keep going, Brian. We got to power through.
It doesn't seem like it would actually be that easy to rip someone's throat out, but he does it like that.
So
Like,
swiftly.
and like it doesn't seem like he has like extra long nails that would maybe aid in the ripping.
No, but it's the triple claw. That's
yeah,
what it
okay.
is.
Yeah, this
It's
it felt like
well,
full like
because you
Karate
see at
Kid.
the end when he tries to do it again,
Yeah,
or
he's
like
like-
almost does it again.
Yeah.
He's so intense with the
I know.
three-finger grip.
Look
that
like
you're
he's throwing a
like,
curveball
"Whoa."
or something.
Hey, I used to throw curveballs.
So you
I
can-
wonder if
oh.
I put my hand in that
Trav,
position.
watch out.
Jacked at
Trav, run.
someone's
Change the lock.
throat.
Run.
Run.
I'm back.
I'm
I'm not gonna lie, I was not listening to any of that because I was trying to focus on not laughing anymore.
One thing that I will say, technically wise, the sound design was so intense. It was like dun, dun, wah, 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 pff, ah, wah, pff, ah. Every 5 seconds. It was like it
Was
a
that supposed to be
little
the
much for me.
score at some point?
Yes, that was
Okay,
the
so the
score.
sound mix was all over the place?
Correct. What did I
Yeah,
say? Design? I meant the mix.
Because I was about to say the sound mix was really bad for me too. It was
Yeah.
like really quiet and then super loud and like
I
it was
didn't
just
notice
the two
anything.
extremes.
but also the score was just like too overkill.
I think
I
the problem
mean-
is you guys watch on Netflix, whereas I watch on AMC with a better mix. I missed the
There
boobs
you
and butts,
go.
but I had a good mix.
AMC was like, we have to remix this because we have to say bottom instead of
Yeah.
ass in these moments.
Yeah. Well, actually, there was a couple times where
When
somebody would
in
say,
that last scene, does he say,
I want that
I'm missing
gluteus on the
your-"
wall.
Yeah, right.
no, he
right,
did say
yeah,
ass.
exactly.
But if somebody said asshole, they would say ass and then cut out the hole. So you'd hear ass instead of hole. You'd hear ass
weird.
like that. Yeah, it was weird. That happened a few times. I don't get
It's
it.
weird that they did that and not like whole, which is the
Right, that's what I'm
part
saying.
of the word that's
And, like,
not
you can-
bad.
Well,
And
right.
like, you,
Like
I
you're
did
such a
hear,
hole.
I did hear Wesley say like your ass is the only thing that's missing on the wall or whatever. Right
Yeah.
before he sliced it. Right
Maybe
off.
the
Your
AMC
ripe,
maybe the
juicy,
AMC
plump bottom is the only thing that's missing on the wall.
maybe the AMC editors were like, this is pivotal to the story. The viewers need to know that he wants those cheeks on the wall.
Yeah, well,
wants
he
that
could
ass
have
on the
said
wall.
those cheeks
They could have
I would've-
overdubbed it with your perfectly
with
tight, round, hairless bottom.
hairless. Yeah,
Wax
it is
bottom.
very hairless. You're waxing moon
Yeah.
on my wall.
I did write the note though, like that the mix is so bad. Like the Foley was really quiet. I remember there was this one part where they closed the trunk of the car and there was like no sound.
Hmm.
Like the trunk didn't make any sound.
Hmm.
And then the music was, like I said, super loud. It was weird, all in all. And then Kai's favorite note, the blood looked terrible. It was bright red.
Didn't.
I didn't even
notice.
notice.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I just
Yeah.
wasn't paying as much attention to that in this
It's
one.
bright red. Also, my other note for technical, these are the most lit bars in the world.
Yeah,
like, and
actually.
not lit in like the
like cool.
Yeah.
My
Although
dad,
as in like
I
my
would
it's
want
dad
so
to
said
hang
bright,
out
and I'm like
there.
everyone's.
Oh.
my dad's almost 70, talking about the playoff games over the weekend. He said this game's lit, and I was like, this word is really dead now.
Any other technical notes?
Okay,
Okay, I got one more.
Yeah.
The location. It's supposed to be Middle America, but it's clearly California.
Oh, I would not have got that.
Oh, they're clearly in Barstow or Ojai or something like that. And,
yeah.
at
but
one
I
point, there's a
wasn't-
sign
I wasn't
behind-
like thinking that.
well, the
During.
shops across the store, one of them is California Tile and Carpet.
Yeah.
I missed that.
That shit could exist
That I
in
missed.
Texas too. That could be anywhere.
So
Yeah.
I
yeah.
thought that as well. Because I've been to like the East Coast and there's like California sun tanning and like there's like the name of it is California.
California Pizza Kitchen.
Sure, yes.
Pizza Kitchen.
Then there's another shot. Hang on. There's another shot where behind Dalton is a sign that says 101 and then it says Ventura, right?
Perfect.
So clearly
yeah, it
California.
didn't register with me.
Perfect.
But you are right. This was filmed in Santa Clarita, Sanger, California, Anaheim,
Santa Clarita.
Valencia, Reedley,
Anaheim's a weird
California,
one.
Westlake Village.
Those must be interiors. Like, I'm like, where would Anaheim fit in this?
Well, you know, back in '89, Anaheim looked like a tiny little village.
It was just shanties.
I'm just making up shit. They were just shanties.
Yeah.
That's not true. Any other technical notes?
Nah. I'll be honest, I didn't.
Directing,
No. Okay.
I feel like the director stepped his foot in a whole pile of melty cheese and then
That actually sounds
rubbed
fun.
it all over this movie. In a good way.
Okay, so we're done with technical? Or?
No, Brian has another comment.
Well, I was just
Go,
going to
Brian.
say I didn't really pay attention to the soundtrack or the score. So I don't know if that means it was bad or good or neither.
It probably wasn't in the AMC version, huh?
What did you guys think about the editing? Do you have any thoughts about the editing? No.
Other than they could have cut together a more coherent story.
It was pretty coherent. You understood what was going on. That's what the word coherent.
I did not understand why Carrie was in his barn. I didn't get that at all. Why
To
did
see
she
his
bring him
butt.
Have double butt action.
Yeah.
I don't understand what you don't understand about that.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay.
That's all I got.
That just about wraps it up?
Wait. Were you swapped? Were you swapped? Did you switch? Were you changed? Who are you now, Brian? Who are you?
That's we don't have enough time on this podcast for me to answer that. But I
Is it
actually
still a
think
good bad movie to you?
I think I'm gonna. So I had initially said good bad. I'm gonna say bad good, not because I think particularly any of like the second half of what goes into the good part was good, but I just I didn't like it, and I didn't think the story was good. So I'm gonna say bad good, because at least like
We did
there was
it.
cool fighting.
We did it, people. We did it. Bring in the horns. We did it. I was
Who
about to
needs a
say
Foley
tune in
artist?
next week, but no more episodes because we did it. We succeeded.
Done.
Brian has switched.
Thank you.
We're done.
I honestly think he swapped himself and we had nothing to do with it, but yeah,
I'm saying we collectively.
great. Okay.
I'll give you guys
not
the
necessarily
credit.
we.
I'll give you guys the credit.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay. Well, that just about sums up our entire talk on
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. Tune in next week when we watch Kai's pick, The Long Kiss Goodnight.
Best movie ever.
Can you guys tell me if that's on like Netflix or something before I watch a fucking censored
I
version
will
of
tell
that
you.
too?
I don't
Maybe
remember,
don't
but
trust
I'll
your
let
Apple
you know.
TV. Maybe Google it.
Maybe
Because it always
Trust Google.
pulls up like all the different options.
You should get a Google TV instead.
I'm going to look it up right now so I can say it on the podcast. So anybody listening can also be like, you know what? The Long Kiss Goodnight? That's next week? Let me know what that's on so I can watch
Oh
it.
shit. That's being a
The
person to the
Long
people.
Kiss Goodnight. What? This is a long movie title.
Oh, this got
Where
Samuel
to
L.
Watch. Hell yeah.
Have you never seen it?
No.
It's on Tubi.
It's on Tubi.
Tubi has commercials, but that's
And
fine.
Gina Davis, who can we talk about how much I love Gina Davis? Because
Yeah, we can next week.
Next
and if
week,
you want to
great.
hear Kai talk about how much she loves Gina Davis, tune in next week. But you should probably watch the movie beforehand. If you want to follow us on social media, you can find us at goodbad_badgood. You could also just comment down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share this. That does so much good for the world and for us. But mainly the world. Think about the world. If you want to follow me on all social media, you can find me at Travis_Orozco. I was going to say
remember
at
his
goodbad_badgood.
name.
You
for
can
a
find
moment.
Brian at,
Bossip.
and you can find Kai at.
Kylie and I on things. Just look me
On
up.
That's
things.
it. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Double deuces.
Brian, snap. Yes, that was good.
Good Bad Bad Good is an Ex Nihilo production. Original theme music and sound engineering done by Jen Star Hacker. Find her at hackersoundmusic.com. Opinions expressed are solely that of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views of any entity they represent.